Now, this is Baruch Fleischman. This is the final shir for this Erev Shabbos. We're at Erev Shabbos by night. And this is the beginning of the day of Yesod, the sixth day. Everything starts to pool into Yesod. For those of us who are merit to be able to keep the Shabbat, the day before Shevat is a holy day, but it's full of all different kinds of distractions and difficulties. And all of this is part of the simcha, really, of getting ready for Shabbos, because the whole thing is very, very beautiful, even the difficulties part. So here we are at the final shir here, and I wish that someone who listens to this shir might recommend some music for this. I could keep working on the music, but it's very difficult to decide what music I'm going to play. And then we have several shiurim going now, and anyway, if you have any ideas, let me know. So here we are in Parshas Pinchas. Pinchas, as we understand, is a person who is jealous for Hashem's bris. That means the covenants of righteousness and of sexual propriety. So let's see where we're at. I think I don't see us anywhere else. We must be right here. So this is Parshas Pinchas. Once again, as we recommend to all of the books that we read, they should buy these books, because some of the books that I have are out of print. Very, very difficult to get, only from people who collect books, certain book sellers. And if you buy them, they get used. They keep printing. This is Zohar. It says, Amar Rebbe Lozer, Abba, to his father, Kama Yosu. This is really so beautiful. If there wasn't for the fact that there's an argument about this. Amalei Bari, he said to my son, Amo, tell it to me, tell me. Amalei, V'hoch Sefer reads like this. V'yitzamed Yisrael Baal Peor. And Yitzamed Yisrael Baal Peor. Now, I think I read this one the last time. So, I beg your pardon. We could read it now anyway. So then we'll go to the one below, to the little paragraph before. It's very nice of the Matzah B'Devash to break these sentences up into digestible parts. Tzamad is lashon smidim, like bracelets, ornaments, jewels. B'Sanina we learned v'yischaber Rabbi Yisrael b'hadei, and the Jews joined together with that. Just like this bracelet, this necklace, that a person puts on as a part of the jewelry that people wear. And the same thing happened to the Jews that we got involved with Baal Peor. Now, I don't have to remind you what Baal Peor was all about. You have to be pretty doggone stoned to get into about something like that. But it is the scent, the ruach of incense. I said it wrong. It is the ruach of incest. It is a real ruach. It is an atmosphere. That's what we have to understand. Atmosphere brings one. Bad times make bad people. The atmosphere looks bad. You start acting in a certain way. I don't know. I can try to explain how people could get involved in such a filthy business. So that's the same thing that happened with the Jewish people in Baal Peor. And you see over here idolatry and incest. What's the right word? What I'm looking for? A little bit better word. He said, Baal Peor, Rabbi says, that is true. The Baal Peor, it's true that we wrapped ourselves around the Baal Peor. We're talking about the Jews, not the Erev Ra. But I never saw anyone say that the Jews got involved with this, that they then came along and purified themselves. Not while they were alive, only when they died. What the Matzah says, that did not rest on them, that the plague never got the Jews. But even though the Jews were involved to some extent, their punishment came after they were gone from this world. Now let's see the next piece of the Zohar, and it says like this: Amalei v'hoksiv kach es kol rosh ha'am v'hoka osam. Take count all of the heads of the people, V'hokea osam. Now what is v'hokea osam? Is picture Yahargu osam, kill them. So he took that as the princes, the captains, or how you say it, the noblemen. But that's of the ha'am. Now he wants to draw a distinction between the word ha'am, which means the people. Those he's been wanting to say that this is the heir of Rav, below Rashbi b'nei Yisrael, but they did not kill the captains of the Jews. Islam the Melech. So from this, from the word ha'am, we have to learn something out. Kasiv ha'am, kasiv ha'asam v'yar ha'am. So he said one place it writes, he said here ha'am, the people. Kasiv ha'asam, and in another place over there in Shemos, he said v'yar ha'am, and the people saw v'yakahel ha'am, and the people got together v'yipol min ha'am, and then fell from the people. Those are all different things that are referring, he wants to say, I believe, to the heir of Rav. About Chazi. But come and see, we still have this. V'yitzamed Yisrael, the Baal Peor, the Jews wrapped themselves and they ornamented themselves, so to speak, with Baal Peor. Below Palchule. But they, what is it, below Palchule? That's a word, the Palchule, below Avdo, below Baratzon. He said they didn't do it a free will. Of a min seif the kra okach, and then you'll see that for the end of the pasuk it proves this. They said v'yochel la'am v'yishtachavu, and the people ate and they bowed down. Below kasev v'yochel v'yishtachavu Yisrael, but it doesn't say the Jews did that. Ela ha'am, just the Erev Rav. Kaven dechsev v'yitzamed Yisrael, but since it writes at the same time that the Jews were not involved in the egel. They weren't involved in in that idolatry. He says, even so, though, it said v'yitzamed Yisrael that the Jews ornamented themselves for the idol. My v'yochel ha'am, so then what does it mean when the people ate? Elahaku zara bisha, but it means that this really evil seed, that is the Erev Rav, havachoiva the Yisrael, they became the guilt of the Jews. Now, I have to get more explanation for this. And Baruch Hashem, we have the Matak Medevash, and we have limited time. Let's see what it says. Od Shal Rebbe Elazar es Aviv. So Rebbe Elazar asked him another question. And he said, Kasiv Kach has called Rosh Ha'am, Mashma Shehoya B'Bnei Yisrael Rosh. So it's Mashma that the Jewish people, he said, they take all of the heads of the people. It's implied that all these are talking about the heads of the Jewish people. Ba'alehem ne'emer v'hokea osam pirish yehargo osam, that you kill them. Al sha'am v'zar, because they were involved in the worship of idolatry. Amalei Rebbe Shimon answered him, and he says, Rosh ha'am vadai. Well, that phrase is very specific. B'kavana kasav Rosh ha'am, it says the heads of the ha'am, the people. Shehem Rosh ha'erev Rav hanekrayim am stam, which are normally called by that name. Below Rosh b'nei Yisrael, but not the Jews. Omin milas ha'am, from the word milas ha'am, the Matok writes. Yesh lon the lilmod. We have to learn this. Shechoya ha'erev Rav, the Erev Rav. We were talking about here about the Erev Rav. Ra'il l'davar. There's a proof to this. Kosav kama'an. So here it writes the word ha'am. V'kasiv hasam, and it writes over there, because of sham be'egel, by the egel it writes, v'yar ha'am. Ki boshes Moshe, the Moshe was delayed, v'yakachol ha'am, and then they gathered all together, v'kasiv v'yipol min ha'am, and then fell from them, died at that time. V'kol elo ha'am heim ha'erev Rav. Who are these people? These are the Erev Rav. Above of Reb. Now come and see like this, in Masha Kosav, what it writes. V'yitzamed Yisrael the Baal Peor, the Jews tied themselves with ornamented themselves to Baal Peor. That they should join together with him and make a oneness with this idol to really get into the depth of what it's an unimaginable service. Below Palchule, below Baratzon. So what it is that they got so that ruach of indecency that was fostered by the women of Midian, who came down into this, and the women of Moab came down into this, seduced all of these people into tremendous debauchery. He said, but they didn't do it on purpose. The Jews didn't do it on purpose. I don't know what this means. And they didn't really know that when they were bowing down to it, that this was an avodah. They didn't know that much about idolatry. Min sofa pasuk mokeach. So, but from the end of the pasuk, it proves mi heim she'avdu. So, who are those who actually worshipped the idol? Havishraka erev rab achlu v'shtach. Only the erev rab. They're the ones that ate and bowed down to it. Kasav shehema erev rab. So it writes like this: V'lokasiv v'yochel v'yishtach v'yisol. It doesn't use the phrase that the Jews, the Bnei Yisrael, were the ones that bowed down. Ela ha'am, but the people. So he says, so therefore shema erev rab. That's called the erev rab. He says, Ki kaven dechsiv v'yitzamad Yisrael mai v'yitzamad v'yochel ha'am. So he says that the Jews ornamented themselves, but the people, that's the erev rab, they ate and bowed down. Lama kasiv v'yochel ha'am. Well, that's the Zohar says what that's what it should say. But it turns to this evil zera, which is the erev rav. They really cause tremendous problems, and for the Jews to come and sin. This is Baruch Fleischman. This has been the Midnight Zohar.